Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Success in the Evening with Coach Rick Terry. He'll be sharing great music and good discussions about topics that will take you to the next level. To join the discussion, call nlgradio.com on 202 299 6673. In the meantime, sit back and listen to our vibe as you cruise to your next destination.
But look, we got another call in, and this is just as important when it comes to our history and creating our future, because if our finances and our way of thinking about our finances are not in line, we set up generational curses for our family. And so it is my absolute pleasure. I'm glad we got some of the technical stuff out of the way. Thank you, JT, for handling that. But we got a young man who is an author and just a really great leader. And so, Victor Johnson, you with me, brother?
Yes, sir, Coach Terry. Happy to be here, my brother.
Man, I am so sorry. We had some problems, and then they got into it in here. I don't know if you caught the show earlier, but my son dubbed her the toy maker. She's up in here tearing up the studio and rearranging it. But Victor, do me a favor, man. Let's jump, because I know you got a show coming up in a very short time. So let's give people a nosebleed. Why don't you tell them who you are, who your company is, what you do, and why it's important that our finances get to where it is they need to be so we can make it to the next step in our progression.
I appreciate that, Coach Terry. My name is Victor Johnson, Victor Vonico Johnson. My company is Nico Don Projects, Nicodon Projects. And what we do is we heal your past and build your future. What does that mean? We help people overcome their credit challenges, financial obstacles, so that they can position themselves to build generational wealth. And that's done through real estate investing or through entrepreneurship. And so through my speaking opportunities, through my book, through various social media platforms that I utilize and things like that, we try to educate and offer value to people to help them get their finances strong, not only now, but for generations behind them, which is why I'm hugely very, very proud to see this young lady's website, Bevy and Dave. I was just looking at that. That's awesome to have toys teaching children about inventors' legacy.
Yes, and she just left. I mean, she just walked out of the studio. I was hoping she could stay with us. But it's important that we get our finances in order. And you and I, we've been talking and communicating, and shout out to my boy, Sean Hill, who connected us on LinkedIn. And I understand he's going to be on your show tonight. Tell him about your show.
Yes, sir. So every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we do an event called Create Your Future Self Live.
Say that again. Create what?
Create Your Future Self Live. It is myself and another young lady who's a real estate investor here in Texas as well. And we started about a year ago just sharing input on how you can position yourself to invest in real estate, obviously get your credit together. But it turned into this year where every Monday now we have a guest on. And you're absolutely right. This week, in about 22 minutes, we're going to have Sean Hill. I call him the LinkedIn mayor because this guy, he is really giving so much value to people on how they can optimize their LinkedIn profile.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Sean's also going to be a guest on my Zoom platform. We're going to bring 3 subject matter experts in, and Sean's going to be one of those subject matter experts. So you having him tonight, I'm telling you, your audience is in for a treat. But I want to talk about, you got a book that's out there, brother, that talks about your upbringing and your overcoming. And I want to encourage them. Tell them about your book.
Yes, sir. Thank you again. That book is called Proven Pathways to Wealth and Happiness. And you can definitely get it at my website, victorvjohnson.com or nicodonprojects.com. It's on Amazon as well. And the book it's a short read, 110 pages. We did it in audio as well. It's a book that just outlines all the obstacles that I overcame to go from a credit score of the low 500s while I was a bill collector, mind you, to reaching the high 700s and basically attracting more better paying jobs to myself and higher income, and then taking that income and investing it in real estate rental properties, buy and hold rental property strategy.
Yeah,
So now
you couldn't have done that without having some cash flow and stuff. So you was already set up. Your credit was already good, and you ain't like the rest of us mere mortals, right?
Man, please. I'm telling you, for 17, almost 20 years, I lived with a score in the 520s. About 525 was about the peak. And then finally, I got very serious about my goals, getting focused. I used the information that I had from my credit collection industry, the credit reporting knowledge that I had, and then just hard work, taking $20 here, $30 there, putting it towards my debts. And over about a year and a half, I raised my score from a 525 to a 700. And that got me at least in position to where I could leverage. And when I say leverage, being able to utilize other people's money to start investing in real estate. And I did not have a lot of money, brother. Coach Terry, I had about $10,000 when I invested in my first property. And that $10,000 over 2 years turned into $43,000. And so I decided to continue doing that. And now I help others that were in the same pits that I was sitting in and let them know you can overcome. I don't have a college degree, and I still was able to start building something that I can look back and be very proud of and start building for my family.
Hey, Victor, this is Darian DePaul. I got a question for you. These companies that are on TV telling you that they can help you fix your credit, are they legit? Are they helping people out?
Well, I don't know all of them, and I certainly wouldn't give any names out there, but I'll tell you the standard model is to take on a client and then have them pull their credit report, and let's say they have 8 collection items or charge-offs, and they will 1 to 2 account at a time mail off paper letters to the credit bureaus in an effort to get those accounts challenged, and maybe with a 20-30% success rate have those accounts luckily falling off of the credit reporting. And a lot of times they're not providing any guidance in addition to that. Mm-hmm. Where, my model is different is that, I'm working with an attorney proprietary software. We're not mailing letters. We don't need a copy of your ID like most of these companies will have. And we're communicating directly with the eOscar system, which is where everybody's credit data is stored. And so by doing it through coding, we're finding where collection agencies that settled with people have miscoded those payoffs, and we're able to identify those a lot faster than somebody opening a letter at the credit bureau and stuffing it through a feeder that reads that data. And we're creating that personalized action plan that really coaches people one-on-one on how to overcome the credit challenges, not just trying to get things deleted off of credit, because that could hurt you. So I would say many of those companies, they're using an outdated model. I'll just say that.
Okay, well, here's my question. We spend an enormous amount of time in the recovery mode, and I'm not sure who's in the prevention mode. What are some preventions that we can implement, starting at maybe our children? I know my son recently started working. Well, he's been working now about a year, and my wife is constantly ensuring him or directing him about a savings account, about a flex account, so he can have some spending money without just having it in one pot and taking it. What are some steps we can use to educate before we ever get into these problems?
I'm so glad you said that, Coach Terry. And that's, first of all, what you're doing is one of the main things. Sit down, communicate with your children. The secondly, having games out here like this where they're monetary financial literacy games. Obviously, that's good. The schools aren't doing it necessarily, not in mass proportion. So my company, Nico Don Projects, has now started going out to, communities and Dallas County ISDs or independent school districts.
That's right, because you're in Dallas, Texas, right?
Yes, sir. I'm in Dallas, Texas. So, working with the schools and the colleges to provide financial literacy. But very specifically, I'll tell you 3 quick things to teach children. 1, go on FICO's website, myFICO, FICO.com. That is the #1 credit reporting, credit scoring entity in the world. 90% of lenders are using that. And go to their education tab and sit down as a family and sit down and talk about the importance of paying bills on time. look at how the algorithm is calculating your credit scores. 35% of it is on-time payments. 30% of it is how much of your credit are you utilizing. You know, if you have a $1,000 credit card limit, if you exceed $300, which is 30%, your score is going to be negatively impacted. So if you can keep that score under 20%, the people in the 750 scores are not using more than 9% of their credit availability. So that means on a $1,000 credit card, they're not charging more than $90. Because you've been issued the credit doesn't mean you have to use that credit. And that is where, you know, if you put 30 and 35 together, that's 65% of your credit score. That's like almost 600 points off of an 850 credit score.